morning, all my crafty friends. Nana K here with NanaKDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook. It is Monday, and we are still working on Teal Tranquility, Altered Book, coming right along. Yesterday, we worked on we worked on the page. Oh, goodness, I got the phone. I said, well, we had the duck, okay, and it was the open tag. We're going to this morning, right quick, while we're going to the book. I want to try to complete as we go along. It's a whole lot easier to go ahead and get it done. So, and again, I promised you guys I wouldn't do a whole lot off scene to let you see. So we're going to place the clip art that we're going to use on this one. And I think I have about planned it something like this on this book here. I kind of like to trying to kind of give it a little bit of clip art on the inside, just to decorate it a little. And I'm really contemplating going in and doing a stitch on the front of it. Well, we did do a stitch. Never mind, I don't have to contemplate it. We did get that done yesterday. We got a stitch. We didn't do it on the inside. But I can show you a little something if I can find where I threw it yesterday, and I don't see it. So I had saved the sticks that we cut off. But now, in all my throwing stuff aside, I have tossed it somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. But you know what? I'm not going to waste time on my video day looking for something. If I find it, then we'll slip it in later. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and get this clip art in place. I couldn't decide if I wanted it at the top here, and this one at the bottom, and this one at the bottom. No, maybe like this. No, I think I like it better here, and here, and here. So that's going to be my process. So I did cut this out, and I did go in with my stain and do a little bit like that on the paper to kind of stain some color into that white. Again, I will repeat myself. I don't love a lot of white space, especially when you've got a really colorful journal. Okay, so I'm going to glue this, and I am going to use my Berry Arts glue this morning. Try not to put a lot because I don't want to get real wet. I decided right here, I think, on this bottom corner. And if I didn't decide, that's it. We got it there now, so it's stuck. Okay, and my smoothing tool. And anytime I see any little piece sticking up that I know is going to snag something, we're going to go ahead and put it down. This could have been made with a hard back to it and a journaling spot, a tuck spot. But I'm not going to all that extent. There's a lot of writing spot here. Don't think we need an extra card tucked in for any more writing spot. Same thing with this one. I did the edges, and this particular ink matched that flower beautifully. It really was amazing to me. Sometimes it's hard to match them looking at the computer screen, but this one matched perfectly. And I think I want this one to kind of slant right there. And all I'm doing is just giving it some dimension here, really, on the inside, so it's not so bland. If you're making a journal most of the time for somebody else, you may not want to do all this decorating. You may want to just cut the clip art out and include it in their kit so that they can do it themselves. But this person that's ordered this journal wants a completed journal, so I'm going to have to complete the journal myself for most of it. All right, and on this one, if you know, yesterday, this was a little card we added, and we did a design there. And just like I did on that one, I'm going to come back in, and I'm just going to put my initials here. And for some reason, it did not want to write. But there it goes, just my little signature on it. And that's my little card. Oh, we didn't do anything back. Let's do something small back here. We don't want a lot of, oh, we got 2 blank pages. All right, well, let's do this. I didn't plan this one very well, did I? So, all right, well, at least I did cut out a little bit more clip art. I got my clip art kind of ready to kind of snip out. I don't want to make your videos too long. I've got one processing now on YouTube. It would have been the second half of this one that we were working on yesterday. So You'll go in and find that, and just, just if you're watching them and following, you'll see each step. I am really trying to stay true to my word and make sure that I'm showing you just about every step that I go through, including the errors. I did make one sewing error on this other video, but I cut it off because the video was so long. But we corrected the sewing error and got it fixed. Well, I didn't really have an error. My machine ran out of the bobbin, and I didn't think you want to sit there and watch me put all the bobbin and all on. And let's see, what kind of flowers did we use on there? I don't think I have another one of those, but I've got this darker one, which matches this kind of pretty. Yeah, I think I'll clip this one out right quick, guys. We've already used 2 of these on another card on this Latin video that's processing right now, that you'll get to see in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. So it's coming, just so you know. It's going to be up and running in a little bit. It's downloading into YouTube now. Part 6. This is part 7, so we are on our 7th video for this series. It's going to take quite a few. This is going to be one of my longer series. But I am determined to give you a book, start to finish. It was requested, and that's why I'm struggling so hard to make sure it gets done, start to finish, without me doing a lot off thing, because there is a lot of things people want to see. I have got to try to do a long skinny tag in here, because the same person that requested a complete video also wants to see the long skinny tag done. So this really tiny one that we put in the pocket. Let me look at this on as it's folded so we can see more of what we want to do. Yeah, I think I want to go to this back corner. All right, I'm going to ink it up a little on the edges, just a little, just to kind of give it some depth. Inking does, on the edges, does give your stuff a little bit of depth, as far as depth of vision of your eyes, depth perception, I'm sorry. On your eyes, it does help to have it inked a little bit on the side. Kind of makes it look like it's deeper into the page. All right, so that looks good. We've got it done. Remember, this is the one that we put the snap on. Okay, so there it is. There's the card inside. Lots of journaling spot on this. Easy, easy peasy. And it goes inside this page where we had the duck. So now it is complete. I don't have to go back to that. That one is done. Totally, completely done. And I like that. And we've done that one. So let's go on. And what did we have to do anything else to this one is the question. So this book is the one that I made a little bit of error on, trying to put a pull tab on it, and I had to go back and redecorate. And we've done that, and I told you I was going to fix the upside down butterfly, and I've gone back and repaired that. So I did the same cutout I did here. I did that one there, a little bit larger butterfly. All right, so that's complete there, but the inside of this, we've got to get some cards in, and we've got to strengthen up our pocket. So where I glued it, which I shouldn't have glued, I'm not going to try to pull it up because I see it's giving me trouble, but we need to put a little bit, just a little bit of backing behind this. So I'm going to go find a piece of, I've got to try to pull that off so I can work with it. I really glued that one tight, but it's not going to be noticeable when we get it decorated. So I'm just going to pull it back. Can't pull it here because we stitched it on the machine on the prior video. And I'm trying to look and see what I want to do. Do I want to put lace on that pocket? You know, I kind of like that lace across there, guys. I think I'm going to go with lace across there. We're going to put the backing on this and decorate this, maybe stamp it, I don't know, something in here to take away from all this blandness. Now, we've already got that on there. I'm not going to try to do anything else on that. Cut that excess stitch off there. Got a little bit of stitching showing. All right, so let's figure out what we need to do first. First step would be to grab a piece of cardstock, and we're going to cut it in half, like so. I want to line most of the back of that pocket, and I don't need it that thick. So we're going to just go ahead and cut it. Cut it about that wide. Don't need anything more than that. Okay. And tear it in half. No matter how it looks, it's going to be hidden. I'm going to ink the edge of it. It seems like the oxide dries on my pad more than the distress ink. I don't know what the difference is. I'm going to look it up, because it dries off this pad. On the other one, don't never seem to dry. Okay, we're going to ink it up a little bit. We're going to put it in with the glue. And all this is, guys, is just simply strengthening where I'm going to put all those cards in and out. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to strengthen that edge, and that's all it is. I hope you've got enough space to come in and repunch this out, because with it glued already, with it stitched down, it's hard to get in there. Can you see it, guys? I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go in and stitch that white that we just did back out, and then I'm going to give it some more dimension, I'm going to do this right here, so you can kind of really, it blended so well with it you couldn't see the edge, so now you can really see there's a pocket there. A lot better. See the difference between the two? You can see this a whole lot better with us edging it out like that. Okay, now that one's done. This side here, same thing. We're just going to glue, we're going to go ahead and ink up this edge a little bit before we glue it down. That part, get that done. Then we're going to glue it. Want it to stay down just enough to get it in there and protect this edge. That's all this is. It's just a edge protection, nothing more. And if you don't mind the little thin edges, you don't even have to do this, but I do feel like you need to protect that edge. Same thing again, go in and punch the card back out, the thumb notch. We'll get that card from behind it. All right, and then we're going to come in again, and on the top, we're going to distinguish where our pocket and thumb notch is by just slightly inking it, and there you go. So there's a good distinction of where your pocket is. Now, this time, this is the final time, we're going to glue this down, and we're not going to mess with it again. Okay. Because we don't want that to mess up and be all unnoticeable. All right. I really like the lace. I wish I hadn't put that flower down yet. But I know, because that was doing a patch job before, we know we don't want to pull it back up. But I sure would have liked to have that lace across that back. And the stitching on the other side, that would have been mighty pretty. But you know what? It is what it is. I can't think of anything else I would want to put there. I don't, unless I cut out another. If I had another flower, I could cut another one out, layer it back on top. That's just a thought. If you want to put lace or something on the back, it's okay. I'm not going to for mine. We'll just leave it as a journaling spot there. I am going to do something in there. I think I'm going to go all the way across this with lace. But I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. I am going to go ahead and double it up. I'm going to go ahead and double it up because I want this lace to be thick, because it is going to be right down that edge. And I don't want it, because I don't want it to tear. We're going to double this one. Let's see, I got one a little thinner over here. Is it going to be wide enough? We're going to have to cut a little bit off, not a lot. I'm just going to go from right there to about right there. So I'm going to cut this one off right about here. And again, I'm going to trim off that edge and a little curve there to match the heart and match the other side as closely as I can. All right, and then we're going to glue this down. Get my glue papers. That's what I put them here for. Check my desk as much as I can. I want to make sure I'm still in video. Yeah, I have to look because it was so long here that I couldn't seem to stay in frame, and I'm doing a better job of it now. I did see a couple of times on the other video where I went out just a little bit. Oh, please forgive me, guys. I am really trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Teaching tutorial is not a lot of good. students can't see what's going on. And I gotta have a swallow of my coffee. Give me a second here. That's my second cup today already. I've already been over here working for a good while this morning. I just wasn't going to do another video till I made sure I was going to get the other one up. So here we go. We're working on it. And we're trying to line these up. And that's not always easy to do either. Sometimes they just don't want to line up. And I don't know why. But we're going to do the best we can to make it line up. And we're going to stain this one just a tiny bit more. Give it a little more stain. Okay, and I've got to cut the second piece off a little. And see, I see this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't quite line up right. And you're getting a little bit of different look at the bottom. But it's probably because I went from the wrong side to put this piece on. But we're not gonna let that fret because it's almost like that all the way down. So nobody will be the more wiser. Okay, cut this edge off like we did the other one. I should have done it before I glued it, but that's all right. As long as we get it, as long as the end is the same outcome, I don't care. Okay, I'm going to strengthen this by just rubbing it. My glue will make this a little taut, stronger, stiffer, whatever word you want to use. And I'm not going to stick it way up on this pocket. And I'm probably going to cut it. I'm going to see. I think it's going to be too much bulk if you don't cut it. So on this one, we're going to have to cut it right there and right there and cut it right out of that seam. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do, is get it just away from that seam where the pocket's going to fold over. And we're going to do this one where you're just a tiny bit sticking up, not a lot. Okay, so I think that side looks better, so that's the one I'm going with. And that's another thing, you just choose which side you want to do. Make sure you don't go all the way up or you're going to glue it down to your page. Be careful. You want it glued some, but you don't want it to glue on those top wings. And I have to go back and pull that one off because I did exactly what I told you I didn't need to do. All right, so that one there is probably a little too high. But I'll just make sure I don't press it down onto the page yet. All right, so now it's just a little below the pocket. And I will probably go back out and punch my thumb notch back out. I'm not sure. I may just leave it like this because it's very noticeable that it's a pocket. Let's make sure we're going to be able to close. Let's just don't press it down right here. Matter of fact, let's be safe and just stick a piece of paper in there to kind of make sure it's not going to stick. Okay? But right now, let me go look at that thumb notch. See, I've done glued it down and I'm not going to be able to do it this time. So the thumb notch will just have to not be, just going to have to be a pocket like that. But it's very obvious that that's what that is. All right, let's look at this and make sure we're straight. I don't like that. I don't like that piece because that's where the piece is glued together. So we're going to use the straight side that we didn't have to do any cutting or anything on. Again, don't glue the top, just right here. Okay, and I'm doing this as if you guys have got the exact same lace, and you may not. So I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I am not gluing the part that's going to hang over. How about that? Whatever part you're going to leave hanging over, please don't put glue on it. That probably helps by saying it that way instead of telling you where not to glue, because you're not going to have the same lace I have. Okay, guys, I got this down. It's a little stiffer, and I probably should have done a little bit of inking on it before, but I'm just going to come lightly and ink this like this. Not a lot. Just a light inking across that lace, like I just did. Okay, and if you wanted to come with a different color, make it two-tone, you could. There's a lot of things you can do. You don't have to ink it at all. Okay, put my needle back in there for a minute. Throw that piece away, and that piece. They're really too small to do anything. All right, now, I promised I wasn't going to go in here and do a lot of chit-chatting today, so I'm trying not to do that, but I am a little excited. My second feral cat has had a set of kittens this morning. Well, she's no longer feral, but she's one I took in as a feral, and she's had a set of kittens this morning, so that's my second litter from my 2 black cats. And I was up there just a few minutes ago, and she actually had a set of twins. I've never seen 2 kittens come out in one sack, but she had a set of twins. They're little tiny things compared to the other 4 she had. So she's got 6, it looks like. Too many kittens to deal with, but I have to go with the flow. All right, now we're going to work on our little things that are going to go in our pocket first. I need another piece of my cardstock, and I'm running low on that side of the room, so let me reach behind me. Grab some. I'm just going to stick it over there. That way I'll have it. This will be simple. I'm going to lay that aside, and I'm going to use the stick glue on these. It's a whole lot faster. Guys, I could have gone in and stitched some stitching on these, but for the sake of the video, I'm not. I may do it before I give it to the girl, but for the sake of the video, we're going to go this way with it really quickly, get the cards done. This is all stuff you can pre-prep too. Like when you're not actually working on your book, you can go ahead and cut out some of the cards that are in the kit and go ahead and get them glued to your cardstock. So you'll have them. Go ahead and, like if you're just taking a break, it's a rainy day and you just want to sit and watch TV and do something, take your fussy cut over to your house and in your house and away from your craft room if you want to just be with a family, but you can fussy cut and do things even away with a family. But, you know, it's easier if you pre-prep all this stuff ahead of time instead of sitting here doing it when you're putting the book together. My method is I go along, do it as I go along most of the time, because I found that if I pre-prep a lot of stuff, unfortunately, it gets all piled up in a big folder, and then I got to scramble through it and look for it. So I'm just learning to do my stuff as I go along, and then I don't have a lot of leftover. Plus, the biggest thing is that I honestly have to make so much of the stuff special sized. I do a lot of special sizes on these things. So most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the size I've got is not what I specifically want. Now, sometimes I'll make do. Don't get me wrong. Mass making is important because there are times you can just grab and run. But for me, when I'm really working on a designer kit in a specific orchard book, I want them all to match, and if you've done mass makes, they don't necessarily match what's in the kit. So what I'm teaching you guys, I want you to be able to get out of the kit papers what I'm showing you. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, don't get me wrong. I do a lot of journals off air. You don't see the video of all my journals by any means, and those I will grab. Things I've mass made. Matter of fact, I watch a lot of mass make videos and mass make along with people. So that's just a little input I'm putting in. And that's not to say that I won't stick some stuff in this journal that's not in the kit. That's a possibility too. So, all right. So now I've got the backs on all these. We're going to keep these very simple. I'm going to make these very simple journaling cards. I'm not going to do a lot of flips and all. I could. I mean, you know, we can do 1 or 2 with a flip of some sort. And I think I might do one on this one, just to show you some little different ways you can expand your journaling space. You've seen most of it, though. I mean, it's just kind of common sense what you do with these. All right, I am going to round all the corners. I am going to put all these who are going to have backings. I hope I haven't run out of journaling lines. No, I haven't, not yet. Time to print some, though. That's another thing. It's the constant printing of something. I think I'm going to make this a flip-up one. So I'm going to, let me see if I want it to flip over. This is perfect. It's going to go in this corner, and it's going to come down. Same thing again. Let me grab a glue sheet. So we want this to glue very tightly to this paper that I'm working on. So I'm going to really press down on my glue and get it good and heavy in all those corners. When I'm folding stuff, the fold area is the one that has to be the thickest. Put that sheet away because we've used it. Make sure your design's the right way up, because I almost just stuck that upside down. Sometimes talking, that's what happens to me. I get too fast and I'm not paying attention, and I'm trying to pay attention at the same time I'm talking to you guys. Just a process. It is a constant process. But like I say, as you get used to doing this, you will get so used to it that you just, see, these things are aggravating me. I'm going to have to get some kind of get my husband to build me something that I can just slide these into a slat of some sort. But I'll find something, I can tell you that. I know me well enough. If it aggravates me enough, I will come up with a solution. I bought a bunch of storage things to go up here so that I can fill my baskets up. And you guys will get to see. I can just grab a basket and let you see what I'm pulling from. Always finding stuff to store for storage in this shop. But this shop has got a lot of storage in it, but having storage that works right here on my desk is another whole ball game. Now guys, you've got a little option here. Alright, this is going to flip up like this, but I'm going to tell you something else that would be kind of cute. And this is just another thing that we can do. I could come in with this right here. Let's see where it's going to fold at first. Let's do the fold first. And we're going to do it where it kind of wraps around. Okay, this fold can be what you call a matchbox fold. Okay, what we can do is go in here and put a piece of washi tape or something. And I'm even going to make it smaller than that. I'm going to fold it again a second time like this. That fold, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down right here. I'm going to glue that fold down. I hope I'm in right under Nana K. You can't hardly see it, can you? I'm just gluing it, that fold right there in half. I folded it up, what was left over, and then I fold it in half again like this. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is go find me a piece of washi tape, and what this will do is this card right here will slide in like a matchbox. I'm going to cut just a little bit of the bottom off this after we get the matchbox done, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, that may not work because this top is a little thinner. I've got to have some space to glue. So that's not going to work on this one. If I was going to make this a matchbox, I should have wrapped this piece around. So we're gonna scratch that. But you just started seeing how to make a matchbox tuck. But we're not going to do that because I would have had to wrap that around because the top piece has to be a little bit narrower than the piece you're tucking in. So we're just going to trim this off and just make this one flip up like so. Easy enough, like that. We're going to come in, of course, you know, the routine. Ink up these edges just a little. And I don't know why I didn't punch it first because now I've got to go back and ink it again. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the back too. And we're going to find a little piece of graphic to go on it. All right. Want to punch over here. Yep, and after I make this video, I'm going to not be able to get the lace on it for you on this one, and we're just going to have to go make some more lace. And see how that folded out and didn't cut, so we're going to do it again. Those little thin pieces, this is getting dull too. I'm going to have to go cut, I'm going to have to go get me some aluminum foil and punch a few corners. All right, let's make sure that that's getting in there this time. I'll cut it from that side. Okay. So my bottom's rounded. There's one of my cards going in. We're going to just do a little tiny graphic in that corner. I don't want to do anything large, so what I think I'm going to do is a rubber stamp. They're behind me. Give me a second. Let me grab one. I've done them all. I got stuff all over the place. What did I do with my little rubber stamp? I moved around again, and I've stuck some stuff one place, some stuff another. But I wanted my little heart-shaped rubber stamp, and for the moment, I don't see where I stuck it. I've got so many drawers. So much stuff. Oh, me. I don't know where it is. That breaks my heart because I really wanted something in here to dress that up a little. There's bound to be something, even if it's a piece of clip art. Got my head in here, don't I, guys? That is so strange. I cannot even imagine what I would have moved my little rubber stamps. I usually got it right here on the sink. Like I said, I had to move my desk all around. Oh, what a disappointment. Because it would have been so much easier just to have a little stamp there. But that's not to say we can't find one. I want a large one. I want that. This is the problem with having so much stuff, and making decisions is sometimes a little difficult. And I was determined I was going to do as I went along, but sometimes it's just not possible. I will have to clean this shop up before we make our next video. Okay, I don't know where that is, so we're just going to try to find a little graphic to go in here. It's going to have to be a small flower. That corner, and that's all I'm going to decorate this one up. Don't want to do a lot because it's not as large of a writing space. And on the ones that I just do the backs flat, I don't put graphics on them. That's not to say you can't do a stamp, because if you do a light stamp, you can still write over the top of the stamp. But I am going to do just a tiny flower, since I've got a few right here cut, or not cut, but printed already. This is a clip art page. It is in the kit. That's why I'm using it. It's in the kit, and I am at present right now working on another one, another page of clip art. You never have too much clip art, but when you're doing your own, you'll be able to find things that you like. I do go on Etsy a lot and find my clip art, so you can do the same if you've got, I mean a whole page of clip art on Etsy. Sometimes I can get them as low as $1, so, you know, hopefully you can afford to do that every once in a while and start building up your clip art collection. And I am actually, let me see, I'm actually going to let that hang over, and then I'm going to cut off the excess, because I don't want it all the way. It's a little larger than I want, so we'll remedy it by cutting it down like that. I'm going to squeeze it into this corner like so, and then I'm going to cut down the excess by looking at it like this and just trimming around my page. Be careful, don't cut your page, especially around that corner. Okay, so the first card is done. We've got it done and it's in there. All right. I'm going to have another swallow of my coffee. Please bear with me. My mouth gets dry. All right, and we're 33 minutes, so I'm going to have to hustle up a little bit. I do not want this one to be extra long. And I really am going to have to get off here and get busy making some more clip art and making some more pages for you. I'm trying to think. I think I have got the extra pages already downloaded into the Dropbox. So if you buy the kit now, they're already in there. If you've already bought the kit and I haven't caught that you bought it and sent you an email with the excess, let me know. I'll get it to you. But it has to be the Teal Tranquility kit that you've purchased already in order for me to add these pages to it. Just a heads up. All right, that one's cut. I'm going ahead and cutting them, guys. It's just a whole lot easier to get the cutting behind us. I know you're probably not enjoying watching somebody cut. Be careful when you cut. And again, I'll remind you, if you're new, when I cut around with my cardstock, I kind of slant my scissors at an angle, and it really helps prevent me from cutting the top layer off. And it also helps prevent white space from peeping behind, because you cut it at an angle. Just a tip, another one of my tips and tricks that I've learned over the years of working with paper. I call myself a paper shaper. When people ask me what I do for a living, I tell them I'm a graphic artist and a paper shaper. So that's what I do. I shape paper all day long. All right, so let's get these cards done. I don't know if I want to do another flip. I could do this one as a flip, so we will put that one there as a flip. I'm going to just put this one as a basic cut. Got a blue pad over here. glue it down. Make sure we get them corners. Corners, important corners. Keep them corners down. Hey, right now I can see my lights coming in enough. I can see where the glue is and isn't getting. All right, stay in the front. Oops, that's upside down. Well, it don't matter right now whether I stay glue it upside down because it's still just going to be the writing spot. I'm just doing a flat writing spot on the back of this one. This one we're going to do a flip, so we need to leave that space. Well, we've got flip space. This one we're going to do a flat back. So same thing again, just glue, glue, glue. Paper stay out of the way, please. Okay, lay that down a second. And glue it back on. Oh, this was double-sided. I had to go ahead and check because I did print some double-sided and some weren't double-sided. Sure had to go back and check that out. And it's rolling a little. That's the first, because I've put so much on. That's the first time I've got my page wet enough for it to roll. All right, let's get this one close in. Throw that away. I got too mushy with glue. Okay. There. Simple journaling cards is all we're working on. I'm not meaning to be really quiet. I've done that upside down again for the sake of the video. I don't want to do that. It didn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter because it's just going to be a flat back. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to do it right. Okay. Glue on that. Throw it away. Just a step. Just a process. This is like this is kind of what you would do in a mass make of these cards. You would just do exactly what you see me doing here. All right, now this one we're going to do a flip, so we're going to put it in this corner. I'm not going to do the matchbox on this one either. We will do a matchbox design at some point in time. A matchbook, I keep saying box, matchbook design. We will do that at some point. Let's get this straight, okay? And now I'm going to be kind of cautious here. So my train of thought is like this. I'm going to pop this up here. Be careful, don't mess up your page like I might do there. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. So I know I'm cutting this one all the way up. Let's get that one so we don't mess it up. Lay it aside. The rest of these we will scissor cut. That will be easy enough to scissor cut. And when they dry, I'll flatten them back out. They'll flatten out when you put them in this book anyway. I'm trying to cut into that one for some reason. I think it's because the paper's trying to curl on me a little bit. This thin paper is not making, it's not happy right this minute. So trim right down that line. Let me get that trim right there. Okay, that's that card. It's ready. All except for the last little touch of just popping the corners off and inking up the sides. If you want them inked. That's strictly up to you. I'm inking because the corner cut actually cut off some of the border, so that the inking kind of hides the fact that the border kind of got cut off. Inking is an option, guys. Just so you know, it's an option. Of course, everything's an option, really. Like I said, it's your book. Do how you want. That one's going to go right in there. So you got 2 cards on that side. Make sure it's not in the fold when you close it up. Okay. I've got 3 cards here, so I may put this tall one aside and go back with that one and stick with mostly the same. And you can have 5 cards in there. The pockets are really large enough for that. Okay, that's pretty much done. I'm going to press this again because it is really trying to roll. And a lot of times if I press like this while it's drying, that roll will come out. See, I flattened it right on out. Not a problem. That was another tip from me. Okay. Getting a lot of tips, guys. Tips and tricks. This should have been a tips and tricks video, shouldn't it? Oh, man. I'll throw my sponge around. I got to quit doing my inking sponge. I keep just throwing it down. Then I got to look for it. All right, that journaling card is now done. And it's going to go on this side. Uh-oh, just what I told y'all to be careful not to do, and I've done it. I had a little bit of ink there. Ink, glue. Gotta rub it off. All right, we got it. We rescued ourselves. This is curling up a little. Got to get it down right there. Okay. Like I say, better to go ahead and do it while you're preparing it. All right, let's do another one of these. We'll do the same thing again. Let's see if I can get this roll out. I might have waited too late. But you can always start rolling it the opposite way it's rolling. And then press with this. I see I flattened that right out. Another tip, y'all. Tips and tricks. You'll learn them as you go around. We may not even mention it in the video, but you just may get the hang of seeing us doing it, and you'll learn your own little tricks to make life simpler while you're making these things. This is kind of a matching set here, so we're going to do the same thing. And I just have found when I'm punching these corners, it's better that I turn it over this way and make sure that this really thin paper is getting in there, and it clips better for me. Now, I don't know how it works for you, but it clips better. This one's done too. Just a small graphic we want to put in this one also. And I don't know if I have another flower. I do. I don't think I want to use an exact flower. So I am going to wait till I find my stamp instead of going to come back and do something. And I may not do a thing to it. But there it is. So there those are. They're done. Your booklet's got everything in it. Clip art graphics. So that is complete now. And it chunked it up just a little bit. It's a little fatter. All right, let's see what time we got. We got 41 minutes on that video. I didn't want it to go an hour, but it looks like it's going to. Or we can stop there. But that is completing. That really is the completion of what we were doing from the prior video. So I think I am going to call this video a done video. 42 minutes, that's enough. On number 7 and number 8, as promised, we will work on the dual pocket, which is right here. I'm going to have to pop those places off, and we're going to get this dual pocket done next. That's our next step, guys, a dual pocket, the front and back. And if we have time, we'll do the dual corner pockets, front and back, on the next video. So this is Nana Kay saying, get yourself prepped. Go ahead and get you some more clip art out. Go pull some things that you want to use. We're going to use lots and lots of clip art when we start decorating. You've got pockets inside your kit that the cardstock backs need to be put on. Go get those done and get prepared to let's finish these pages up and start working on our inserted pages. So we'll see you again in a little while. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel and have not subscribed. Please watch videos all the way through. Take time, hopefully, to skim through some of my other videos and watch them at least 5 or 10, 15 minutes to help my view hours go up so I can get monetized. And I appreciate all you guys. Come again soon. Bye-bye.